Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with a weekly TV roundup. As it's nearing the end of what is, for most shows, the regular TV season, these will be a bit shorter than they have been before. We're going to kick things off with last week's episode of Arrow, which was also the season finale of the show. Always with Ollie and part of the League of Assassins on a cargo plane headed to Starling City. Back in Nanda Parbat, Merlin and Team Arrow awake in the dungeon, and Merlin reveals that he secretly inoculated everyone against the virus with something akin to a skin graft, while the Flash saves them and takes down most of the remaining members of the League of Assassins present. On the plane, Ollie reveals to Raish that he has double-crossed Raish, though Raish escapes with the virus. Ollie and Nissa manage to land the plane, barely, and upon arriving at Palmer Technologies, Ollie explains to Diggle and Felicity why he didn't tell them about his and Merlin's plan. Also, Team Arrow realizes that Raish has an agenda of his own as they try to find where Raish is hiding. That is, killing his old enemy, Damien Dark. Ollie goes to take Dark into custody in order to trade him to Raish for the virus, only to learn that Dark has left Starling, and that Raish has released the virus. Laurel confronts her father and tries to get the SCPD's help. Ollie and Felicity talk things over. The various threat vectors are covered by Team Arrow and Merlin. Diggle discovers that Raish means to use his own men to spread the virus, after having been saved by Thea, who's wearing Roy's costume now. Raish and Ollie duel once again. Merlin, Laurel, and Diggle each stop the remaining of Raish's men that are carriers of the virus, somewhat managing to, in fact, contain the outbreak of the virus. Ollie defeats Raish, but is shot off the Starling City dam by the SCPD and rescued by Felicity, who was wearing the Atom suit. Afterward, Ollie declares his intention to stop being the Arrow and leave Starling with Felicity. Later on, Ollie names Merlin the new Ra's al Ghul. Ray's lab explodes while he starts a miniaturization test. Thea decides to keep on with superhero bit, using the name Speedy, and Ollie and Felicity leave for what is presumably Coast City. The flashbacks, Ollie tortures General Shreve, who is later killed by Maseo, and Maseo, Tatsu, and Ollie all go their separate ways. Moving on to this week's episode of Flash, which is also the Flash's season finale. Always with Barry and Thawne talking about why Thawne killed Barry's mother. Thawne offers Barry the chance to save his mother. Barry discovers the offer with Professor Stein, Cisco, Caitlin, Joe, and Ronnie. Professor Stein tells Barry the inherent dangers of changing the past, while Joe tells Barry he should save his mother. Barry's father, however, disagrees. Barry has decided to save his mother and has Thawne explain how the plan would work. Barry, Cisco, and Ronnie begin building Thawne's time machine, and while discussing a construction issue with Thawne tells Cisco that that Cisco is a metahuman, able to manipulate vibrations of the universe, basically. Professor Stein discovers that a possibility exists that sending Barry back in time could destroy Central City and possibly the world with the potential creation of a black hole. Eddie decides to rekindle things with Iris. Future be damned. Professor Stein, who is also a rabbi, it turns out, officiates the wedding of Ronnie and Caitlin. Barry is back in time and is told, and it is stopped by his future self from stopping the murder of his mother. Current Barry talks to and comforts his mother as she dies, assuring her that he's okay. Thawne's departure from the prison is stopped by Barry's return, leading to a fight between the two. The fight ends, however, when Eddie shoots himself in the heart, leading to Thawne's existence being erased, as well as the creation of the singularity which Professor Stein feared. And Barry then runs off to stop it, setting up Season 2. And now, this week's episode of Game of Thrones. It opens with Arya cleaning a body in the House of the Undying. She is put through the game of faces by Jaqen, who sees when she is lying, even if she doesn't know she's lying. In Valyria, Tyrion tells Ser Jorah why he's in Essos, as well as the fate of Ser Jorah's father, Lord Commander of the Knights of Washmore. At the House of the Undying, Arya helps a young girl die and learns what becomes of the bodies after they're cleaned. And to not make that sound so vague, basically the faces are all cut off and used as disguises for the faceless men. Also, Jaqen informs Arya that while Arya is not ready to become no one, she is ready to become someone else. In Valyria, Tyrion and Ser Jorah are captured by slavers. Tyrion is able to convince them to spare the two based upon Jorah's fighting ability. In King's Landing, Littlefinger returns and informs Cersei of the goings-on in the north, and also makes a deal to become the Warden of the North. Jaime and Bronn infiltrate the Water Gardens of Dorne as the late Prince Oberyn and his bastard daughters make their move to kidnap Princess Myrcella. Both plots are stopped, however, by the arrival of the Dornish Royal Guard. Lady Olenna of House Tyrell talks to Cersei to Sir Loras freed. At the inquest for Loras, both Loras and Margaery, however, are arrested by the Faith for crimes against the Faith, or against the gods, so to speak. In Winterfell, Sansa talks of her husband-to-be, Ramsay Bolton's past with his acquaintance Miranda. Later, Theon escorts Sansa to the Godswood, where she and Ramsay are to be wed. Afterwards, Ramsay makes Theon watch as Ramsay and Sansa consummate their marriage in a rather rough manner, which Sansa does not entirely seem to be enjoying. And that's it for the episode. We'll be back on Saturday with a video. Possibly there will be a review of Mad Max Fury Road tomorrow. Possibly. No guarantees on that one. Then we'll also be back next Wednesday with the weekly TV Roundup, which will only be, at this point, covering Game of Thrones. This is, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to social media are in the description box down below. And this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off. Live long and rock hard.